how would you describe your relationship with money now?
Good and bad. Like, it's a love and hate relationship, you know?
Okay. Still a little bit of a roller coaster. Is there any one thing about money and finances that gives you anxiety?
Taxes. Every day. Every day. It's money can't buy happiness, but it definitely helps.
It can help take the edge off. Welcome to another episode of Money You Should Ask, where everyone has something they can teach you. I'm your host, Bob Wheeler. In this episode, we are going to explore why we do what we do when it comes to money. As a CPA for the past 30 years, let me say 25 because that makes me sound younger. I have seen it all when it comes to money and emotions. And if you think I'm talking about my clients, I'm not. I'm talking about myself. My relationship with money has been, and sometimes still is, an emotional roller coaster. Maybe that's something you're also familiar with. Good news. You and I are not the only ones. Our next guest is going to share their money beliefs, money blocks, and life challenges as well. Buckle your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Our next guest is Kelsi Davies. As a content creator, psychic medium, actress, singer, and dancer, she has gained more than 1 million followers across all social media platforms. She currently has 3 singles called Done, Darker, and Heartbeats, and has an app called Kelsi Davies Haunt Escape. She hosts the podcast Intoxicated, where she and her guests talk about conspiracies, ghost experiences, mysteries, and much more. Kelsi is a frequent collaborator of Pride House LA and has appeared on countless short films. Kelsi, so excited to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to be here.
It's exciting. We're going to talk about money.
Money.
That's money. So is money something that, now you've got success, you've got a presence. Is money something that you have to worry about?
I mean, I feel like you always should worry about money, just to make sure you're not overspending and make sure that you are, investing it very wisely, when you are making money. But I struggled with money for a long time growing up. My family, we didn't have a lot, So me growing up with, it was just very like precious, you just kind of like have a different view on money and making it and stuff. So I don't know. I still like even I don't know, even making money, I still like find myself buying, clothes from Target and stuff like that. Like I try not to spend my money on things I feel like aren't necessarily what I feel like I need. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I definitely am so grateful to be financially stable, at where I am right now.
Now, do you ever catch yourself like when you're buying something at Target or when you're just thinking about things and you're like, oh my God, I've got to buy, I'm on a budget. I've got to stay really close. I've started close to the vest. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, wait a minute. I'm actually in a pretty good place.
Yeah.
And
It's like surprising,
that's
honestly.
me.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, actually I'm fine, like it's a different mindset, honestly, and it's very humbling, being able to grow up, like because a lot of people grow up with money around them and stuff, and that's totally fine, but a lot of people don't. So it's just a whole different way of even making friends and stuff, you just like see their values, what they value as a person, what they value as in finances and stuff. And it's so different, it's just a different mindset.
Yeah. Were your parents, did they talk about money when you were a kid? Were there fears and anxieties that they shared with you or that you picked up on? Like, what was that growing up without a lot of money?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always had like my psychic gifts. So I always kind of knew if something was going on, like they wouldn't like argue in front of us. They wouldn't like ever, make us worry about it. But, we would, they would say things like, oh, like, we can't afford that, but let's try this one. This is the store brand, or I have coupons for this, so we would we would just make do, and we never would throw fits if we couldn't get something, we understood. So it was, I think that they described it in a way for us not to worry, but to be aware, we can't do some things that other people do. We can't go places that other people go. So but they definitely gave us everything they could growing up, and I'm so so grateful for that. But they would stress, there was like, you could just feel it. They would going through their bills and the IRS and everything like that, and it would be stressful for them. So, I just hope that, I don't get to that point, and hope that they can remain financially, stable, because it does cause stress in your life. Like, it's money can't buy happiness, but it definitely helps.
It can help take the edge off. It helps take the edge
Yes.
off. Now, did your
Yes.
family vacation a lot?
We when we could, we would go to, like, Catalina Island, every year for a camping trip. That was, like, our big trip because it was pricey. But we never really got to go, out of the country or anything like that. So I think now I'm starting to travel and, do stuff because we weren't able to do that then. But I'm so excited to just see the world now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, as a 5-year-old, as a 6-year-old, what did Kelsey foresee her future to be? Right? You have this gift, but was there like, I'm going to be a ballerina, or was there some memory that you have of how life was going to turn out when you got older?
Yeah, I didn't expect all this, I knew I would be somewhat in the public eye. I would always just know I wanted to entertain. I wanted to be out there, I wanted to put myself out there. I feel like I was very shy when I was little and very in my shell. I didn't really get to be my authentic self. So
Mhm.
now coming into this and being able to share who I am, my journey as an entrepreneur, as entertainer, as a psychic medium, it's just so great to be able to like share that with everyone. And um it's I don't know, I feel like when I was younger, I just kind of knew I would be out there. I
Mhm.
just knew that I would be an actress and stuff. I remember even saying like I wanted to be a gymnastics coach, when I was little, because I was in gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I ended up being one for a while and stuff, and that wasn't, like, quite I was like, "This is great," but, like, I'd rather do something else. So, I think my five-year-old self would be proud, though.
Yeah. And, now you had a friend, if I remember, a friend inspired you to do TikTok and all that kind of stuff. And
Yes.
are you still friends with that person, and are they still TikToking?
Yes, so, his name is Omar Gosh TV on YouTube, and he would always be kind of a mentor for YouTube, and, I was a fan of him originally, so I was a big fan. I went to his, like, fan meetup and stuff, and then we just started talking, and I think he knew that I was, wanting to do what I wanted to do, like, with YouTube and everything. I think that he saw my potential, and a
Mhm.
lot of people would look past that. And I'm so grateful that he did, because he would mentor me through YouTube what to do. And then he would be like, hey, you should start doing TikToks. Like, people are really doing that, and I think that you'd be great at it. You dance, you do all this stuff, and I was like, okay, like I started just doing it, here and there. And I remember he had a haunted doll when we would go to like this, we went to Spring Hill Cemetery in Florida, and he had a haunted doll, and I remember that, and I was like, "I kinda want, like, a haunted doll, a haunted item," like, when I was driving in the car, I was just, like, thinking about it, and I was like, "I remember that doll he had, like, that was interesting," I was like, "I kinda want one." So then I got Lola, my haunted doll, and my TikTok just blew up, after that. So it's just I'm so, so grateful for everything and the community I've built and the business I've built.
Do you ever get scared of having a haunted doll? Like, have you ever worried that Lola's gonna do something that's, like, on the darker side? I mean, I know you play into the darker side, but, do you ever wake up and going, "Alright, Lola, what's going on?"
Yeah, so when I first got here, I was scared. I wasn't sure, like I wasn't really tapped into my mediumship as much as I am now. So I was just kind of like what if this actually isn't a good spirit? What if this is a bad spirit? What if I'm bringing something bad in? I was pretty scared. Lola didn't really like me at first either, so she would kind of knock things off shelves. She would move her dolls. She would do things to like let me know she was there and like she's, here to stay. She's like, respect me. So I started respecting her more and understanding that she was human. She was alive. She's a spirit and she deserves respect. She's not just a ghost, a spooky ghost. She's definitely has her human emotions still and everything. So we just started connecting. She helped me with my mediumship and I don't know, I see her now and I don't get scared anymore. Like my
Mhm.
boyfriend's seen her too, and he didn't believe in ghosts until he saw her standing in my room. And he explained exactly what she looked like and I was like, "Okay, you saw her. That's interesting." So I think that we've both just come to love Lola, and I feel like a lot of people out there as well.
That's so cool. And how does somebody that feels like they might have that connection to the spirit world, um, I mean, hopefully watching your videos, listening to your podcast will help people to figure out how they can connect more. But there is a community out there. How do people find that?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of communities, it depends on the creator and what, every community is different. I feel like even as like an entrepreneur, building your community is very, very important. And you can tell a lot about the creator by the community that they've built. There's a lot of toxic communities out there that I've come across that have bullied me, have called me crazy, have just been really aggressive. And then there's other communities who are super open to it and just here to, listen to people's experiences and believe them, like it just have an open mind, I guess. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I just wanted to create this community online, just in even my comments, my comment section is a community in my eyes, it's just people interacting with each other, people sharing their experiences, people coming in, being positive. Like if someone comes in and starts bullying other people, I just block them. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm all for, freedom of speech and whatnot, having your own opinion. There's a difference between being skeptical and being just closed off and being rude. So there's a big difference there. Like, of course, I allow skepticism. Like, that's a whole part of it. That's a whole
Yeah.
part of the journey is being skeptical of things and finding that proof and stuff. But there's a difference. Like, if you just go out and want to spread negativity, it's just not something that I'm here for and not something that I want to read every day in my comments. Just people being
Yeah.
so nasty.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's enough going on in the world. Let's try and find the positivity and connection for sure. Um,
Please.
so I'm curious, with if you have a haunted or spirited ghost doll, um, I would imagine you don't really have to budget a whole lot of money for them, right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't cost a lot. They don't add
It
to your budget, or do
depends.
they? Yeah.
It depends. Some people do collect haunted items, so they definitely spend a good amount. They're antiques, a lot of them. So,
Uh
of
huh.
course, some of them will be more pricey. Lola was like, I think she was like $70, her doll
Okay.
was. I don't want to say Lola because
Right.
rude. But I think she was like $70 or something. So they're honestly, not too expensive, but, like, it's a whole spirit with it, it's a
Yeah.
whole ball game once you get that, so you gotta make sure you get, like, a nice friendly spirit
Yeah.
if want that in your house.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, so switching back to money for a second after I mean, do you budget? Do you budget without Lola? Do you track stuff? Are you, um, clocking, yeah, I spend $1,000 a month in food. I mean, do you pay attention to that stuff most of the time, or do you not really
Yes.
have to focus?
I always focus on it, no matter what. I think I just like I remember running out of money and having none, and I remember, being at a CVS, I ran out of money, I couldn't get my face wash, I had to give him, like, all these coins, and it was like I was holding up the line, it was really embarrassing for me, and I just didn't ever want to get to that point again. So I definitely do budget my money. I have enough money, for my rent. I put it to the side. I'm like, okay, I need this for rent. I need this for taxes because they take a large portion of your taxes, which
Yeah.
sucks. I'm just like, getting I have never made this much money, so I am trying to learn, how much goes to taxes, how much goes to rent, how much goes to my publicist, how much goes to, investments in my career, my equipment, my laptop, everything like that. So I definitely do budget, and I definitely think that no matter how much money you're making, you should always budget and be smart with it and not just overspend, because that's when people lose it.
Yeah,
It's money's valuable.
it is. And do you try to make sure that you put aside 10% or 5% that, um, pay yourself first, or making sure that it's put away so that you live on the other 90%?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely in my mind, it'll be deposited, and then in my mind I'm like, okay, it says this much, but actually it's this much. I can't
Right.
look at it and be like, "Oh, I have this much money to spend." No, like I budget it. I make sure, I want to travel. I want to do things too. I want to go places, so I set aside, like, I kind of put it in categories in my head.
Yeah.
So I'll have like, I'll like calculate it on my calculator. Okay, I have this much, like I can spend this much, but I need to save this much, So it's definitely no matter how much money you're making, just I guess a good way is to put it in categories.
Absolutely. I think that's great. They have like the envelope system and all kinds of different ways to
Yeah.
keep it in categories. Now, when you started making more money, was the foundation of starting to save and do these things from stuff you learned as a kid? Or did you seek out advice and people helped you and said, hey, maybe do this? Or was it again something that you just felt intuitively, this is the direction I need to go in?
Kind of like a lot of intuitive, and just seeing my parents and hearing their advice. And my mom would always tell me, she always calls me about taxes and stuff because she's, had struggles with the IRS and had struggles with like the house mortgage and all that stuff. So it was just a lot of stress that she had, that she's kind of like, I don't want you to go through this too. So she'll definitely guide me and help me with things like that as well. And make sure I'm budgeting, make sure I'm smart with my money. She doesn't want me to ever get into a pickle. So she's definitely been a big help. I've also had some like, accountants and tax advisors just like kind of telling me, different things, what to do with what to if I need an S corp, if I need a different, way of um you know, tax tax stuff, all that, I don't know all the technical terms, like, I'm
Right.
not I always
Yeah.
get confused when they're talking to me, but I've definitely had guidance in that way, so, I recommend, talking to an expert who's good at accounting and stuff like that, because 'cause I'm not good with numbers,
Yeah.
so
No,
I
that's
kinda screw
great.
myself over.
No, that's great. Do you remember any phrases that your mom or dad ever said when you were a kid, like money doesn't grow on trees, or like were there any little mantras that you got to be reminded of as a kid?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, money doesn't grow on trees, just stuff like that. It was more experience for me and just being very observant of what was going on in the house and all that. So, I mean, I think they taught just by their experiences, basically.
Yeah. Do you think that having the gift, uh, the psychic gift, that gives you more confidence in things? Whereas somebody else might be like, "Oh, I'm really worried about that." There might be somewhere that you're just a lot more trusting or trusting
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes, I definitely feel like I don't know, sometimes, I don't know everything, like, that would
Right.
be crazy if I knew freaking everything, but I definitely have an idea of, where my life will be and what's gonna come about. I do have a confidence because of it for sure, and I feel like even my friends, asking, like, it gives them a sense of relief just knowing, because 'cause I've been very accurate with all my friends,
Mhm.
just when they're struggling and stuff, like, I always see the lighter side of it, and I'm like, "Why can't you see this?" It gets frustrating because I see it, but they don't. So
Yeah.
it's very, very relieving to see, me older and stuff. If I'm having anxiety, if I'm like, am I gonna die today? But then I see myself older with kids and stuff. I'm like, okay, like I'm okay today. I'm gonna be good. I can travel, I can do my stuff. Like it does definitely. It's a weird thing, but it helps.
Yeah, no, I imagine. Well, it makes me think, I saw I'm gonna just make sure I read it right, but I saw in an article, or an interview you did, they named that you wanted people to embrace their sexuality and be their unapologetic self.
Yeah.
And that takes a
Yep.
bit of confidence. And that's a scary thing. That's a scary thing for a lot of people. Um,
Yes.
to embrace yourself unapologetically, including sexuality. And again, I'm curious where that foundation of confidence and that desire to push that out in the world.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much hate in the world, and with the LGBTQ plus community, there is a lot of hate and there's a lot of judgment and there's a lot of different beliefs, you're going to hell for this and this. And it's just like, that's not how it works, like in my mind, I'm just like, I don't understand why, God or whoever would create us to be like, even in animals, like a lot of animals, there's homosexuality there. There's like it's crazy, like, it's in nature, so
Right.
it's just like it's just part of it, it's part of being human, like, it's just I don't know if they have the same sex, I don't get why it's such a big deal to other people. So, I think it's always good to embrace yourself and who you are truly deep down. I came out as pansexual because I don't know, with my psychic stuff, I just see the good in everyone, and I see so much deeper than the surface, and I see their soul basically, like, I just feel it. I feel their soul, and if I really connect with someone in their soul and they happen to be in a female body that's like me, I'm like, I don't think that's wrong, It's
Right.
just like I don't really see, like, a gender with that.
Yeah.
It's more of, like, who they are on the inside, and I just feel like I don't know, I think the world just needs to chill. Like, take
Yeah.
a chill pill because why would being gay affect, your I don't know, I don't wanna go into religion, but why would it
Yeah.
affect you going to heaven and stuff if you're a good person, if you spread
Right.
positivity into this world? So I just like I always believe just be your authentic self, be positive, we're all on this earth together, we're all going through it, but
Yeah.
it's just it takes 2 seconds to say, "Have a good day," like, it just takes a
Yeah.
second just to add some positivity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm wondering for you personally, if you could share maybe a struggle or two that you had, because people out there listening, wow, Kelsey's got it all together. She almost knows everything. She's pretty amazing, right? And everybody has their struggles.
Yes, everyone has their struggles. I've definitely struggled, mental health struggles a lot. I was very depressed back in the day. I had very, suicidal tendencies. I didn't want to be here. I just didn't understand myself. I didn't feel like I could be myself. I didn't feel like people accepted me if I was myself, with the psychic stuff, with the being pansexual, with all that, I just felt like I wasn't accepted. And I was always very, very quiet growing up. I was a total introvert, like at school, if anyone, she was the girl that sat in the hallway by herself. Like she was kind of weird, like she was in advanced drama and art and all this stuff. I was just different. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I just wanted to come online and share all that with people because I'm very open about it,
Mhm.
like I just want to share my struggles and my journey with others to maybe help them, help guide them in some way. And so they know that you're not alone. You can get past it. You can move forward. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You can manifest your abundance, your success. You can create your own reality. Or like it's just a different mindset. And I just hope that I can help others in some way.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is your legacy or the impact that you want to have? And I think that's what you're speaking to is just giving. It's not that you're giving permission, but letting people know do what you need to do. Like, and maybe that's
Right.
giving permission, but I think there's a lot of people out there that don't give themselves permission um,
Yeah.
to actually be their unapologetic selves.
Right, and it's like the family you grow up in, like, they have a big impact on you, you know? So if you have kids and stuff, just be accepting of who they are. Don't really force them to be a certain way. I feel like society is just, like, forcing people to do different things. You have to be this way, you have to be, this weight, you have to look this certain like, it's just really sad that society has changed so much to the point where it's just like, oh, if you're not rich, if you don't have money, like you're not gonna get anything, it's just like a weird standard that they put. And I'm like, that's created. Like we're not stuck there, we are worthy. Like I think that's something I had to convince myself for a long time is that I am worthy of success. I am worthy of making money. Like I didn't feel like I was worthy of it.
And how do you feel now?
I definitely feel I'm like, you know what? I've worked so, so hard for this and I've been positive every step of the way. I haven't burned any bridges and I just feel like I definitely do deserve it and I am worthy, like I just feel like I'm always grateful and so humbled by it and so just I don't know, just having people who support me so much. It's just like so heartwarming to me, but it's I don't know. It's just like I found that confidence finally in myself and that acceptance part where I'm like, okay, I earned this. Like I do deserve this.
Well, I love that you speak to that piece about finding the confidence. I think for a lot of people, they will wonder, am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to get there? Do I get to? And it's not that we ever arrive, but hopefully at some point there can be a calmness or a grounding of, you know what, it's going to be okay.
Right.
Like
Right.
I got this.
Yeah, I got this. Basically, if you just look at like there's affirmations you can say, I don't know who's into affirmations, but it's just a good thing to put into the universe to say every day to yourself or to other people, it's just like I am worthy of this. I am successful. I am abundant. I am happy. You can just say things to yourself every day just to motivate yourself. Like, I am going to get this job today. Like, you just have to kinda live in it, it's a great way to manifest. I definitely believe in manifesting your goals and I feel like energy's so powerful, and
Yeah.
if you put that energy in and that hard work, you will get what like, in a positive way, you will get
Yeah.
what you need if you go at it at a different perspective.
Absolutely. I think affirmations are great. I think we can choose happiness. I think we can choose to have a positive life. It takes a little effort sometimes, and
Yes,
certainly we can change that mindset.
it doesn't happen overnight. That's
Does
for
not
sure.
happen overnight. Well, Kelsey, we are at the Fast Five, and the Fast Five are sponsored by Acorns, where you can. I can't even read that. Where you can invest, spare change, bank smarter, save for retirement, and more. For more information, check out the show notes. So, all right, Kelsey, here we go. We're just gonna down and dirty. We're gonna have some fun. What was
I'm ready.
You're ready? All right. What was the last purchase you returned to a store?
I think it was pants that I from Urban Outfitters.
You just didn't like them, or
They were too big. I
oh,
got
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I lost weight, so I got the wrong size.
That's a good thing, or a bad thing. It doesn't, right? It's all good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's all good. Is there any one thing about money and finances that gives you anxiety?
Taxes every day.
Okay.
Every day.
All right. What would you spend money on without needing any justification?
Food.
Food. How would you describe your relationship with money now?
Good and bad. Like, it's a love and hate relationship, you know?
Okay. Still a little bit of a roller coaster, a little up and
Yes,
down. All right.
for
All right.
sure.
What's the most annoying question you get as a psychic medium?
Um, who's around me? Who's dead around me? I'm like, uh,
Oh,
that's just kind of weird. Like, I get it, but I'm like, there's not just like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of weird to ask that.
yeah. That I would feel
I'll
weird asking
answer,
that.
but I'm just like, oh, like, I have to talk to a dead person right now. Like,
Yeah. Wow. Let's stay in the presence, right?
I
That's
know.
too funny. Uh, well, that's so we are at our M&M moment, our sweet spot, our money and motivation. Is there a practical tip or a piece of wealth wisdom that you use in your personal life?
Um, I guess just go into it with a positive mindset, always with money. Money doesn't equal power. And I hope that people don't think that, because I feel like once some people get into a lot of money, they find that, or they think that they have this power over other people, but money doesn't allow that superiority. We're all human, we're all equal. And I think that money, it's an object, and
Yeah.
it is a way of life. We do need it, of course, but I don't think it should ever allow yourself to get cocky about it, for lack of a better term, like to get um just I don't know, I've just seen a lot of people turn into a-holes.
Yeah.
Just, like, with a lot of money, you know what I mean? And it sucks. I'm like, that's not how it works. Like, that's bad money. That's, like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different ways to make money, and without stealing, without theft, without
Yeah.
being a scammer, there's a lot of different ways, and I feel like you just need to have that positive way. It'll make you happier too, and it'll make you know that I earned this. I deserve this. It's just a better way of thinking about it.
Absolutely. I think money or lack of money just amplifies who you are in the
Yes.
present,
Yes.
right? Doesn't mean you can't do
Yeah.
work and change, but if you, if you're not such a nice person without money, you're probably not going to be such a nice person with money. Um,
Right.
but,
Right.
uh, but who knows? Who knows? Well, Kelsey, this is just, I love having this conversation. My takeaway is that what I didn't hear when you talked about growing up without a lot of money, I didn't hear a lot of blame. I didn't hear about woe is me. I didn't hear a lot about being a victim. I did hear a lot about gratitude. I heard a lot about being appreciative and humbled. And I appreciate this place where you're about bringing in um, positivity and making space a wider welcome for people to like let's all thrive and not at the
Yes.
expense of other people. And
Right.
I think we need a lot more of that right now
Yes.
because there
There's
is a lot
room
of
for
hate out there.
everyone. There is. There is. There's room for everyone, to grow. It's not like you need to climb over other people to get to the top. There's room for everyone. So I hope that people know that you can rise together. You don't need to push people down or like take their spot or just be malicious about it.
Yeah, there's a saying somewhere. It's not pie. Like there's plenty. There's
Yes, there's
plenty.
so much. There's enough for everyone, like we got this.
We got it. We got it. Well, Kelsey, where can people find you online and social media? They can learn about Psychic and your videos and your singles and all that good stuff and your podcasts.
Yeah, so I have my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter is all Kelsi Davies with two I's and two S's. So it's KelsiiDaviess. And then my YouTube is just my name, Kelsi Davies. And I have my Intoxicated podcast. It's INTALKXICATED. Intoxicated. I came up with it when I
Love
was
it.
intoxicated.
Love it. Love it. We'll put all that in there. Well, we will make sure that people come and find you and share the love. And I so
Yes.
appreciate having you on today. It was just such a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun.